Good morning, children.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning, ma'am.
You know, there are two main events in aerobic respiration. As we had already learned, the first one is Krebs cycle or tricarboxylic acid cycle or TCA cycle. And the second one is electron transport chain or electron transport system. And you know, as a result of Krebs cycle, two molecules or two types of molecules are produced, NADH2 and FADH2. So those two are produced as a result of Krebs cycle apart from ATP. ATP means already we have got the ATP molecule, but the NADH2 and FADH2 synthesize if we have to release energy from these molecules. Direct ATP synthesis there in Krebs cycle, but at the same time indirect synthesis of ATP takes place. So as a result of Krebs cycle, FADH2 and NADH2 are being synthesized, are being produced, and these molecules should pass through, or the electrons present in these molecules should pass through a series of electron carriers to release energy for the synthesis of ATP. So that is why the second step, electron transport system, is significant in Krebs cycle. And in glycolysis also we saw direct synthesis of ATP is taking place. Apart from that, in Krebs cycle we saw NADH2 and FADH2 are synthesized. And if these molecules should yield energy, the electrons present in them should pass through a series of electron carriers, and in that way, in that process, they get oxidized and energy will be released for synthesizing ATP molecules. Now let's see how this is taking place and how energy is released. A similar process you have learned in photosynthesis. Hope you are remembering about chemiosmotic hypothesis, where a difference in the concentration of protons takes place. Yes, and a proton gradient is established. Then this proton gradient will be broken down by the passage of these protons, and which will activate ATP synthase enzyme, or with the help of ATP synthase, ATP molecules will be synthesized. We learned about two parts, CF0, CF1. Hope you're remembering. So here also a similar process is taking place. The other one was about what we already learned, chemiosmotic hypothesis, that was in photosynthesis. Similar process is taking place here also. Okay, now let's see the details. Okay, see. So this is the picture of electron transport chain, diagram depicting electron transport chain. So before that, you should have an idea about the structure of mitochondria. So the structure of mitochondria, you know, it is having a double layered membrane. So mitochondria, they have an outer membrane, okay, and there is an inner membrane which is thrown into folds known as cristae, which will help in increasing the surface area for ATP generating reactions. So this one is known as the outer membrane. This is the outer membrane. This is the inner membrane. And the space in between these two, between the two membranes, you call it as intermembrane space. Intermembrane space. And in the lumen, you call this part as matrix. That is known as matrix. And here in the picture, what you see in that blue strip, no, a strip you can see a blue color. I'm not saying about yellow, green, violet, not about those, but the blue strip, what you're seeing, that is the inner membrane. inner membrane is shown here. This is the matrix and this is the intermembrane space. So I'll use a red pen and show you. See here, this is the matrix. This one, this part, that is a matrix. This is the inner mitochondrial membrane, this part, the inner membrane. And this is the intermembrane space. So here there will be outer membrane. So the space in between inner and outer membrane, you call it as intermembrane space, the space in between the membranes. And electron transport system is taking place in the inner mitochondrial membrane, whereas Krebs cycle took place in the matrix. Krebs cycle took place in the matrix, or it is taking place inside the matrix of mitochondria, whereas electron transport chain is taking place in the inner mitochondrial membrane. Okay, that you need to know. You should know the different parts. Okay. Now here you can see different complexes. Electron transport system consists of different complexes. This is complex 1, then complex 2, complex 3, complex 4, and this is complex 5. So 5 complexes are involved, but they are arranged in the order first, third, second, fourth, and fifth. Second and third is rearranged. After first, third, then second, fourth, and fifth. Rest is in order. Clear? So what you see in the box-like structures, those are complexes. And 5 complexes are involved in electron transport chain. There are 5 complexes involved. So let us be familiar with these complexes first before we learn the detailed process. Complex 1. Complex 1, as you can see, it's an enzyme. It's an enzyme complex. All these are enzyme complexes. NADH dehydrogenase. NADH dehydrogenase means the one which will remove, the enzyme which will catalyze the removal of hydrogen atoms from NADH. So complex 1 consists of NADH dehydrogenase. All these complexes are enzyme complexes. So from the name complex itself, you can understand that there will be more than one components. It's not just one enzyme. NADH dehydrogenase is present. Along with that, 2 more components are there. FMN and FES. If you see the figure in your textbook or the one which I've given on the board, you will understand all these 3 together make complex 1. FMN is flavin mononucleotide. Flavin mononucleotide. Flavin mononucleotide, and it acts as a cofactor or an electron carrier. It acts as an electron carrier. It's a cofactor. Cofactor, you know, it is essential for the proper functioning of an enzyme, just like coenzyme. This one is also essential for the working or the functioning of an enzyme. Or simply you just understand these act as electron carriers. FES, iron sulfur compounds. So NADH dehydrogenase, FMN, and iron sulfur compounds together make up the first complex 1. Clear? Now moving on to the second complex. Complex number 2. So here in the picture itself I will mark. The first complex is known as NADH dehydrogenase. So along with dehydrogenase, FMN and FES also make up the complex. Then complex 2. Complex 2 is succinate dehydrogenase. Succinate dehydrogenase. Another enzyme. This is also a complex. So being a complex, other components are also there. As you can see in the picture, iron sulfur compounds are also present. It consists of iron sulfur compounds along with succinate dehydrogenase. Okay. And coming back to complex one I told the name is NADH dehydrogenase. It consists of NADH dehydrogenase, FMN, and iron sulfur compounds. And as you can see in the figure, what is the role of NADH dehydrogenase? It will remove the hydrogen atoms from NADH2 and convert it into NAD plus. NADH2 is getting converted to NAD by the action of NADH dehydrogenase. It will remove the hydrogen atoms from NADH2 and convert it into NAD. Now the second compound Okay, hope you have understood which one is the first complex. First complex I told it is NADH dehydrogenase. NADH dehydrogenase is the first complex and it consists of NADH dehydrogenase, FMN and FES, and this enzyme will convert NADH2 into NAD. The second one is succinate dehydrogenase. So hope you are remembering in Krebs cycle we learned succinate is getting converted to fumarate and FADH2 molecules is being synthesized in the process. When succinate is getting converted to fumarate, FADH2 molecule is getting synthesized. So succinate dehydrogenase, they will catalyze the conversion of succinic acid into fumaric acid or succinate into fumarate. And succinate dehydrogenase, this complex also consists of iron sulfur compounds along with the enzyme. So two complexes, hope you have understood. Now moving on to the third one. Complex 3 consists of cytochromes B and C. So complex 3 consists of cytochromes B and C1. Along with that, iron sulfur compounds also will be there. As you can see in the picture, cytochrome B, iron sulfur compounds, cytochrome C1. And that is the third complex. So third complex consists of cytochromes B, C1 and iron sulfur compounds. Now moving on to complex number 4. Complex 4 is cytochrome C oxidase. Cytochrome complex 4 consists of, or it is known as cytochrome C oxidase. Cytochrome C oxidase. So here, as you can see in the picture, cytochrome A, cytochrome A, cytochrome, then two more things are the two more components are there. Two copper centers are also found. Cytochrome A, cytochrome A1 then copper A, copper B. These are proteins, copper proteins, and they also act as electron carriers. These are proteins, so we call it as copper senders. Copper A, copper B, CuA, CuB, cytochrome A, cytochrome A1 together make complex 4. Complex 4 is made up of cytochrome A, cytochrome A1, CuA and CuB. Together we call it as cytochrome C oxidase. And the fifth one is known as ATP synthase. The enzyme responsible for the synthesis of ATP molecules, you know, it has got two components, F0 and F1. So when it was when we discuss in the case of photosynthesis, we call it as CF0 and CF1. C stands for chloroplast. In this one, we call it as F0 and F1. Details you will be learning. So to know electron transport chain clearly, you should be familiar with these complexes. Apart from these 5 complexes, 2 more prosthetic groups. Prosthetic groups, as I told you earlier, they are essential for the functioning of enzyme. They act as electron carriers. 2 of them are there, cytochrome C and ubiquinone. Ubiquinone and cytochrome C. So 5 complexes, 5 enzyme complexes plus cytochrome C, cytochrome C, then ubiquinone. So these are the different components. So all these are involved in electron transport chain. And as it is given here, NADH2 and FADH2, which are produced as a result of Krebs cycle, they will pass through the electrons present in them, will be passed through the electron transport chain. They get oxidized and energy will be released. So the components of electron transport system are these 5 complexes and cytochrome C and ubiquinone. 2 prosthetic groups, cytochrome C, ubiquinone, then 5 enzyme complexes. Together make the electron transport chain. In the next period, we will learn how the electrons are getting transferred through these complexes, resulting in the release of energy for synthesizing ATP molecules. Okay, children? So we'll wind up. Thank you.